Do you know what girl power means to me? Sarah Vaughan, Lauryn Hill. You need to know this. I ain't no Spice Girl.
Sam, the first thing I want to know is most of the people in this movie are still around. So when making this, how much did you feel that you had to talk to people like Mitch and Blake and Mark Ron? The full picture of who Amy was.
Well, it was really important to me that I could creatively make the movie I wanted to make. So I had to know from the outset that I had all the music rights and that nobody could sort of interfere with how I told the story. But at the same time, you know, I felt a responsibility to Amy and to myself, as well as to the people around her, to listen to their stories and to sort of feel like, you know, their stories were important to be shared, and then from that the decisions made of what to use and maybe not to use. But it's a big responsibility, and I spoke with Mark Ronson, who I already knew previously, and I spoke to her family, and I never spoke with Blake, but Jack, who plays Blake, spent time with him. But you know, it's a very sort of delicate balance, but the most important thing for me was to really be guided by her music and to sort of create a movie that from her perspective has no judgment, because, you know, Back to Black is really a great love story that she writes, and so I had to sort of sit within her music and sort of have the, you know, these are the people that she loved, and she loved, you know, with such you know, ferociousness and depth, and that's why the music sort of connects with us. So to sort of sit there and just, you know, really allow her music to sort of wash over us, and for her to tell her story in that way.
And Marisa, I saw this last night. I thought you did such an incredible job.
Thank you.
Especially with the singing, with everything. I really love the moments, kind of the private moments, like Amy, you know, meeting Blake and spending time with her grandmother. With those that maybe weren't documented in the same way as the rest of her career, what was the most important part for you to get right?
I mean, I guess it's a good point, because the more iconic moments and the much less iconic moments are equally as important to get right and equally nerve-wracking, because one comes with a sort of great responsibility of people have seen this, you know, people know what Glastonbury looks like, or they know what the Grammys performance looks like. You know, there's that moment that is now in our trailer, at least, that's like when Amy wins the Grammys and there's that look. It's such a beautiful and iconic moment, because it sort of encapsulates how vulnerably, you know, sort of innocent she was. It's a weird way to describe Amy, because there's a lot about her that was not innocent, you know, but just that kind of pure innocence, childlike nature of her. To get that moment right was equally as nerve-wracking as getting a moment right where she's sat on the sofa with her grandmother watching herself on Jonathan Ross. You know, it's a moment that, like, you don't really think about, but this is a woman that's being catapulted into superstardom as a singer. But of course she sat at home with her nan with a cup of tea watching herself on Jonathan Ross, and like, what does that moment feel like? And it's all of the research that you do makes these moments the same, because when she's singing Rehab at the Grammys, that feeling of like, I'm gonna prove to all of you that I can be great again after everything that you've seen play out in the media, to the interviews that she does where she says, like, I just want people to really recognize me as a great jazz singer. These tidbits of information that you get just inform everything that you do, you know. It's all about intentionality and like, what is it that Amy wants in this specific moment? Sorry, a bit of a long-winded answer to your question.
No, that's fantastic. I think that is my time, but I appreciate it. Thank you both so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, bye.
I don't think I was put on this earth just to sing. I want to be a wife. I want to be a mum.